Okay, let's talk about the market. We'll look at the daily, the weekly. We'll look at look at the weekly, the daily. We'll look at the trades of the day on the intraday chart, and we'll might even take a peek at gold and something really interesting in gold that I want to show well, I think, in this video. Okay, let's get started here on the weekly chart for the S&P 500. Excuse me, you can see we've hit all-time highs here again this week. 53.22 and 3/4, which I believe, I think that happened today. Basically, this big old candlestick, a lot of this candlestick is from the the FOMO meeting that came out of the talking heads on the Federal Reserve. They get in there, they basically, say what they say and inflate the markets and do all this baloney. So that's what that is. That's kind of like what I call the hysteria trading. This is all just, this is like lending rate trading is the best way to put this, because they, traders believe that if the lending rate is held or cut, that that means the stock market's good. That's the way they interpret it. So that's what that is. Which, of course, has nothing to do with true valuations of business, the top 500 businesses, but whatever. All right, so that's that on the weekly. We're going to keep an eye on this March 31st cycle low. Right now, there is not even a hint that this is going to happen, but we'll keep an eye on it. And then the next one I have out here is June. There could be something in the middle of this cycle. It's possible. So let me just look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 weeks. The 21 weeks, I think 20 of them, the high was higher than the previous week's high. Amazing. 20 out of 21 weeks, we've had the high higher than the previous high. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that think that's really great and that's awesome. And it is from the perspective of trading and just being a pure trader and making money. From an economical standpoint, this is a disaster, but we'll leave that story for a different day. All right, let's move over to, there's some divergence going on here. Not that the market cares about divergence anymore. I guess there's support here. There's a little support right here, 51.57. This one's 51.81. Yeah. Let me put it in there real quick. It's not super clear, but it's kind of there. So we'll throw it in here. 57 and 81. So 60 be 21 and 3 is 24. If we split the difference, I'll say 12. So let's go with 69. How about that? That sounds good enough to me. So we'll put this at 69. Maybe it's a little higher than that. No, okay, 69 is fine. The math is good. It should be close enough. Okay, and then we'll duplicate this and shove it up in here. And we'll just say it's, maybe, let's see. Let me just take one more look at this. 51.69. Hold on 1 second. Let me look at that line again. Yeah, okay, fine. 51.69. So that's ballparking it, kind of in the ballpark of where there would be another support right there, okay? And I'll clean this up and get them all lined up here at another time. Let's move on to the daily. All right, so here on the daily chart, you can see today hit a high, the all-time high, 532.3/4, which we saw in the weekly, but yeah, this was today. I thought it might have been yesterday, but it's today. Today was a pretty small, kind of smallish day. I told the members last night in the email, I said there was a decent chance that today would be an up day, but that there could be some type of retracement in the next 24-hour period, which there was a decent amount of retracement, not completely, but it did retrace. Meaning it did kind of pull back into this candlestick. As you can see, it finished, halfway down the candlestick today. And I guess we can make this bigger. It's probably looking kind of small here. So Yeah, that was very useful information, right? They knew that my opinion was that today was going to be an up day, yeah. And that turned out to be true. All right. Obviously, this low didn't happen. So the next one here is April 14th. And the one after that is May 7th. And I think this is what, May 30th. When we get over there, I'll put it in there. Okay, so those are the other cycle lows on the daily chart. And, yeah. Still think that weekly low that I see in June, to me, kind of stands out on the weekly chart. But we'll just continue to keep an eye on this. It should be really obvious this is still extremely bullish. We're just basically getting a bunch of bull flags, right? It stair steps down, goes up, stair steps down, goes up, stair step down. It just keeps stair stepping up. And I don't see any reason to change the forecast until the market tells us otherwise. Okay. And we're not really too far away from, I guess this 24 day isn't really very applicable. But it's good enough. You can see right here it touched 24-day moving average, simple moving average here. It kind of broke through a little bit way back here in January. Here it got kind of close. Here it got kind of close. Okay. So we're not too far removed from it. It'll probably come back down, maybe get down close to touching this thing, and then we'll see if it bounces again. It might be something like that, right? Your typical stair step baloney. And back to the races for trading long. Okay, let's look at the intraday chart. And we're also going to look at the hourly chart as well. Okay, so this is the 5-minute chart we're looking at here. Just straighten it up a little bit here. 5-minute chart. Last night, futures started right there. We've got about another 10 to 15 minutes of futures before they close for the day. So just kind of finishing up the day. Intraday trading is already closed. This was a really good indicator right here. And the Gators Plus indicator happened at 4:05 a.m. my time. Right here, purple candlestick, took off, went to the moon. Just awesome, super awesome. There was another one right here, but this one was the golden trade of the day. Look at this thing, monster mash. Boop, 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 boop. Right, really nice trade. And then, to me, it's kind of the only one that really stood out that was like super obvious and very reliable. I mean, this trade over here is, really kind of tough to trade that one. It did give it up eventually and come down here. But just looking at the SMI, it's kind of hard to trade short when you're way down here. I wouldn't have traded it. I didn't trade it. I traded gold today. I wasn't trading the S&P 500 because this is just garbage. I knew today was just going to be kind of one of those little small days on the S&P 500. And mid-morning, which is kind of like right in here. I mean, we did get this nice little action here, but for the most part, this is just very choppy. I mean, look at this. Once again, it's your typical, after some hysteria run up, you just get this 10 range bound all morning long. It's like, it's not even trading. I don't know what this garbage is. It's just garbage. Like, I'm not trading this. I got better things to do with my time and my money. I traded gold. We're going to look at gold near the end of this video. You're going to be amazed because this is garbage. Like, I'm not even wasting my time trading the S&P 500 if this is just going to be the pattern it does. Boom, and then boom, and then it's like, okay. You got to catch the panic trades, I'm like, forget about it. I'm not interested in panic trades. I'm not saying a lot of money can't be made there. It's really hard to time those. All right, so that's pretty decent there. I think that was the one really good trade of the day. The most reliable one there was at 4 o'clock in the morning. We take a peek at the 15-minute chart here before we move on to gold. Yeah, nothing going on there. Okay. Let me just show the hourly chart on the S&P 500. I don't like to show it too often to non-members, but we're going to show it today just as a little promo for the service. I kind of reworked some of the cycles here. This is more cycles than normal. We don't normally have 3 cycles here. We got a yellow, a green, and a purple, or pink, whatever color you want to call this, violet or whatever. Normally it's at the most 2 cycles, but occasionally you get this kind of 3 cycles going on because the market's a big mess. You know, we had the hysteria trade yesterday after the talking heads once again ruined the natural process of free markets. And so this is like, you know, kind of reestablishing itself after this, whatever that is. Really didn't get a low here at midnight. Okay. But we got a nice cycle low right there at 5 o'clock. Look at that. Was that 5 o'clock? Yeah, that was really nice. Super nice. I think I had to rework these cycles though today. And I reworked this purple one in there. And I think I did it like at 8 or 9 o'clock this morning and came up with a 2 o'clock low. Now I know 2 o'clock is a very typical time for the market to pull back anyway, but as it turned out, the cycles fell on there. So we had a really nice cycle low right there. Look at that. Really nice. About 20 points, almost 20 points of pullback right here. So a really nice opportunity right there as well. Of course, coming out of the cycle lows, you can always trade them long, which is really the way, is what you really should be doing, in the bull market, right? So I wouldn't necessarily trade short down into these cycle lows, but just use them as an opportunity to reacquire and to go long again. That's the way I see it. Okay, you can see there's a cycle low that may happen at 9 o'clock tonight. I'm not really totally confident in that particular cycle. All right. The green one looks like it's the most reliable one. So there's one way out right over here. And you can kind of gauge that, but that kind of falls wherever it's going to fall here on Friday. I'm not going to tell you what that is exactly, okay, because that's reserved for members, but you should get a feel for how the cycles are working here and that this is an integral part of the service. And I use it to do my trading, and I know some other members use it as well. Not everybody uses cycles, but I do, and I know several of the members do, and I think that's part of the attraction for the service is that the cycles at least provide some guidance. They may not always be perfect, but they help guide members in a direction where they can kind of get a feel for what the market's going to do during those times, yeah. All right. Here was a Giddus Plus indicator way over here. Looks like it was on Tuesday. There was another one right here. Look at that. So that was really good, right? Market went crazy. Super good indicator right there. Okay, so those are the trades of the day on the intraday chart and some of the cycles that are currently going on. Of course, members, you want to read your email tonight. Yes, I do have opinion about tomorrow's market. I almost always do. It's rare that I don't, but occasionally I don't if I don't have a good feel for what's going on. But the data that I looked at today definitely gives me enough information for me to give an opinion about tomorrow's S&P 500. So make sure you read your emails. And I posted a little something on the Discord server as well. All right, let's take a look at gold because there was some really cool stuff that would happen in gold today. I think you're going to be amazed at this. Okay, so we're looking at the gold futures, which is /GC. There's also a micro product. You can do /GC. Okay, that's the micro. And I think there might be one other gold product in between here. Like I think there's a QC maybe. Not really sure. QG, that might be copper. There's a QC, I think. I could be wrong. But those are your symbols right there for trading the various different futures products. Now, I've been streaming gold now for maybe just a few days or a week at the most. It's something I added new for the members. So if you join the membership, which if you want to become a member, stick around to the end of the video and I'll show you how to do that. But part of the membership, at least for now, is you're going to get the live streams on the S&P 500 charts and also for the gold, okay? So that's really nice. I've been trading gold because S&P 500 could go pound sand because I don't like the way it looks and I'm just staying away from it from right now. Let's take a look at this. This is the hourly chart, okay? And I had put these cycles in here. Yesterday, I think I put these cycles in here, okay? And there's 3 cycles in here going on at the same time, which looks like a spaghetti mess, but there's basically just 3 cycles. You got the yellow one, you got the big green one, and you got the little purple one, okay? And check this out, guys. Guys and gals, there was a cycle low that was projected. I put this in last night, somewhere over here. I put it in, drew this cycle in here, and it was projected that gold would pull back at 11 o'clock a.m. my time here, okay? And no, I didn't rework the cycles after. This was done before. Because some people probably, he just redrew this after the market did it and he's trying to sell his service. No, you can probably talk, if you join, you can talk to some members and ask them. Does he draw his cycles and keep them there long enough for them to be useful? You're going to hear the answer is going to be yes. Yes, I change the cycles, but I don't change them after the fact and then claim that they are accurate. Okay, I know a lot of people do that kind of nonsense with their services. Which reminds me of a little funny story, kind of a ha-ha, not so funny story I tell you about a service I subscribed to about 2 years ago. I'll just briefly talk about it. But let's get back to this for a second right here. Look at this, guys. Came right on down, exactly as the green cycle had it. And where was the low? The low was at 10 a.m. So you're looking down here, right? Look down in this area, you'll see the time. 10 a.m., right? And I had it forecasted for 11. Now, how good is that? Now, I notice gold is a little bit looser than the S&P 500. It's not quite as tight when it comes to the cycles. So you have to have you have to be ready for more variance on each side of the cycle. Okay. And that's fine. If I'm up 3, 4, 5 hours, I don't have no problem waiting out to see if it's going to come down early or going to come down late. Okay. And like I said, gold tends to trade much more like a free market. I'm not saying it's completely free market, but it trades much more as a free market. The S&P 500 is strongly manipulated. There's just no two ways about it. Okay, but gold, not saying it's not manipulated, but you can definitely tell it follows more of a natural trading cycle. Though this obviously run up had a lot to do with the talking heads and the manipulators over at the Fed. So there's no disputing this was manipulated by the Fed, right? And BlackRock probably came in here with gold and for S&P 500 yesterday and jacked up did a lot of, they weren't the only ones, but they clearly jacked up the price. Yeah, BlackRock, I don't know if you guys were aware of this, just a real quick side tangent here, but the state of Florida and the state of Texas both pulled all of their money out of BlackRock. So what I'm talking about is, 401ks for state employees and anything to do with government employees, they pulled billions. Florida was the first one to do it. I don't remember what that was. It was a pretty big number. I know it was in the billions. And then Texas just did it, I think, yesterday or today, a couple of days ago. They pulled $10 billion worth of money out of BlackRock because they don't want to deal with their stupid, diversity, BS rules and their, be good to the environment rules and all this governance BS that, is not more important than profits. And they're trying to strong arm companies and corporations to follow these rules. Well, Texas said, go pound sand. I'm so glad I'm a Texan, guys. Love Texas. And I, believe it or not, before I lived in Texas, you guessed it, I lived in Florida. And these states got it right. I don't care if the left says you don't like it. I don't really care. They did the right thing. They pulled the money out of BlackRock. BlackRock is a huge manipulator of the market. It should be illegal for them to be in the market and manipulating the market on behalf of the Federal Reserve. That is just plain evil and nasty. All right, so back to the charts here. This was a really good cycle. I'm showing this because take advantage of the service, man. I mean, this was a really big pullback because it's basically just retracing this hysteria trade. Right, I knew this wasn't going to hold up. I knew this wasn't going to hold up in gold. And then the S&P 500 shouldn't have held up either. But the S&P 500, like I said, is heavily manipulated. So they artificially inflate that thing. But gold just pulled back. Look at this. It pulled back like 75 or 80% of this hysteria trade. Up and then all the way back down. Or most of it down, right? So this is the way things should go. Right? Things return to normal because this is just a garbage trade that doesn't mean anything. So the cycles were pretty good here. And we're going to see what happens midnight. There's obviously 8 a.m. There's 3 o'clock tomorrow. Okay, so those that aren't paying members, you're getting a little bit of a freebie here, but I'm not going to do this every day. You're not getting freebies every day. I'll do it occasionally. Okay. So this service has been banging, man. It's been banging. Some people, like I said, don't like to trade cycles. I do. I find them very profitable. I'm not too much into Elliott waves and all that stuff. I feel, for me, Elliott waves just change way too often. It's a 1, 2, 3, we got it wrong. Now it's a 3, 5, 7, 9, 22 hud hiker. They're always changing it. And cycles do change too. We do as cycle analysis. We do change these cycles, but they won't change them nearly as much as Elliott wave. Elliott wave is constantly changing. It's like I've seen people retroactively go back and change Elliott waves and say, see, it works. I'm like, that doesn't work, man. You can't go back and retroactively trade and say it worked. It's only valid if it actually proved to be true in the future. You can't have 7 different Elliott wave options. Okay, I'm just kind of making this up, right? You can't have 7 different Elliott waves, or even 3 or 4 different Elliott waves, or 5 different Elliott wave options, and you got to guess which one's going to be the right one. And if you get it wrong, you're screwed, you know? I mean, it just isn't going to work. And I've looked at Elliott waves, and they're just so unreliable. That's why I don't use them. Okay, so this was really cool. A huge bank. I mean, huge bank today. This was just massive. I can't even begin to tell you what kind of money was made here. Okay, I don't always share all my trades. I do share some of them, but I don't like to share every single trade because it just sounds like I'm bragging and and the whole ego thing. But this was just a monster trade. I mean, you go do the math from 22.10 down to even 21.80, which eventually finished up around 21.70. But just this trade right here from 22.10 down to 21.80. Go do the math and go look up the specs on the futures and do the math. You're gonna your jaw's gonna drop. This was just huge. I'm trying to think what else. I just want to talk about something super quick. I subscribed to a membership service many years ago, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, and for the most part, it was pretty good. But there was this one guy that was part of the team that they would put out these trade alerts. He was like just one of the guys on the team. Like there was like 3 different guys. The one guy, basically the I guess you can call him the president or the CEO or the co-founder of the business. He was pretty solid. He would have guests come on that were really good about their analysis, and they would have awesome trades. They would tell you ahead of time what they thought were good trades, and a lot of times they were very accurate. I made a lot of money with the service. It was a very expensive service, but I still made a lot of money. But they had this one guy, and he had this little cheapy service that they kind of tacked on. And this is typical of what I see in like YouTube and just services that are out there in general. Most of them are really horrible. And what he would do is he would say something like this: pay $5 a month, and you'll get on the email. And I'll send out an email. He would send out, I think either once a week or once a month, he would send out an email. And he would say, these are the stocks, as he would just do stocks, and they're going to make this kind of move, either short or long. And he would do this every month. And no lie, every single month I would get the email, and the move that he predicted already happened. I'm not lying, man. I mean, granted, it was only a $5 little add-on service, but still, you're paying $5. It's still $5 you're paying for a service. You expect it at least to be accurate, right? But this is so typical of what I see in services out there. He would wait until the stock made the move and then quickly send out an email. Like it would always be like 10 or 15 minutes behind the move, or an hour or two late, every single time. And then at the end of the month, he would review his recommendations that he made by email, right? And he would always say, "Oh, this one was accurate. That was accurate. That was accurate." It would be a lie. He would just flat out, blatantly lie. It was horrible. I'm like, dude. I even sent him an email and said, "This is just ridiculous. You're always wrong. You're always sending emails after the move. You know you're lying." And of course, $5 was no big deal. I just quit the service, at least that part of the service, But anyway, I'm just kind of sharing this story because I see this time and time again, man. I see this all the time, especially on YouTube. On YouTube, I see videos where people say, "Is this the top?" with a question mark. Well, I'm not going to take a service and pay for a service for somebody who's giving me a question mark. That tells me they don't know what they're talking about. They're not even willing to take the chance to be wrong. It means they don't have the moxie, guys, right? They don't have they don't have the boys downstairs to take the risk to tell you about tomorrow's forecast, right? Or even next week's forecast, because they're going to play it super safe, right? They just want to get their members to come in and pay for a service, but they're never going to give their forecast because God forbid they're ever wrong and they lose some members, So in other words, they don't ever really do any serious trading. It might be like spotty trading at best. And it's all about just generating content and raking in the members, but never taking any chances and telling people, their opinion about what the market's going to do. By contrast, my service, every night I send out an email and I give my opinion about what I think the market's going to do. And a lot of times that's right. I mean, this is a perfect example of being right. Again, I'm not saying I'm always right, but at least I've got the moxie to put the opinion out there and take the chance and say, this is what I think the market's going to do. And a lot of times that's right. And the traders that have come into my service usually stay. Some people leave, but most of them stay because they know the service has value, right? All right, I just wanted to share all that. For those that want to become a member, of course, stick around to the end of the video. For everybody else who's just going on for the free ride, I get it. You like the free stuff, no problem, whatever. Happy trading, everybody. Talk to you all real soon again next time. Okay, glad you stuck around to the end. You want to become a member, that's great. There is a discord.com link just below this video in the instructions. Make sure you read those instructions carefully. Okay, once you've done that, click on click on the discord.com link. It's going to bring you to this server, get a server, then click on server shop. It's going to bring you to this page right here, and it's $7.99 a month, guys. The value for this service is extreme. It just is. And I know it's an excellent value. The streaming charts are down here for the S&P 500. So when you join, just click on this. You'll get the 3 streaming charts, the 5 minute, the 15 minute, and the 1 hour. And yes, the cycles are on there for the hourly chart, just like I showed today. The Get Us Plus indicators on there, like I showed for the intraday charts. Okay, so super nice. Also, I think I showed the hourly chart in gold in the video today. That's also streaming live. So you get gold. Gold is streamed live too now for the members. Same thing, 5 minute, 15 minute, and 1 hour charts. Really, really nice. Okay. And whenever they Get Us Plus indicator of mine, that's my own custom indicator, whenever it triggers and thinks there's a trade, it's going to send an alert from the streaming charts over to this alert channel, okay? Really, really nice. So if you're not watching the streams, you can still get the alerts. You just right-click on the channel and turn notifications on. And gold does the same thing. The streaming charts for gold send the alerts here, okay? So you can do the same thing there. When you join, just ask me, hey, Get Us. You can ask in the member chat channel, okay, or S&P 500. Just ask me, hey, Get Us, where is the link for the gold server to see the stream, and I'll give it to you. And also ask me, where is the video for new members? There's a video I have that will go through and kind of show you the indicators, the Get Us Plus indicator and other indicators, and how I use them and how I go about doing my trading. So I think that'll get you pointed in the right direction, okay? In addition to the streaming charts for both the S&P 500 and gold, every day I put premium symbols here, Monday through Thursday. So you might want to check out those symbols, really, really nice. Okay, the Get Us Only post channel, this is where I post this video, like what I'm doing right now. I'll put the link in there so you can actually watch the video in that channel if you want to, or you can click on it and it'll take you to YouTube, your choice. All right, and I also notify the members of the nightly email. Whenever the nightly email goes out, I put it in here and notify the members. So you may want to turn notifications on for that one too. Okay. Speaking of nightly email, when you join, put your email address right here in emails only channel, and I'll pick up the email and you'll get a daily chart of the S&P 500. On there's the daily cycles as well as any support and resistance lines I might have on there. If you don't want to share your email, some people don't want to share the email, kind of in this channel with other, because everybody can read that channel. Just chat me up on member chat and say, hey, Get Us, I'll make what's called a friend request on the server here, and I'll accept your friend request, and then you can DM me your email, okay? Now, don't get offended if I unfriend you. It's not that I don't like you. It's just there's so many people, I can't have everybody as a friend. So a lot of times once the initial transaction's done with taking care of your email thing, I'll unfriend people, okay, just to keep me sane. All right, but if you have to do that, it's fine. You can do it. It'll just be a one-time thing to get your email. If you don't mind sharing your email, then just drop it in here. That's what most people do, okay? All right, yes, I keep track of solar activity. Believe it or not, that has a large impact on things that happen on the earth as well as the markets. Occasionally, I'll trade fixed income. If I do, I'll put my corporate bond, whichever bond I bought or sold, but normally I'm just buying bonds and they'll be in there. These two channels here are just, regular chat that goes on. Obviously, this is S&P 500 chat, and then there's regular member chat. So this is everything you're getting for the $7.99. Only members can access this, right? The public cannot access these channels. I mean, think about this. You're getting the streaming charts of S&P 500 in gold. You're getting the alerts that go with it. You're getting the premium symbols. You're getting the nightly emails. And, of course, you're getting chat and any support that may be needed, right? Let's talk about the rules. You got to read the rules because I want people getting upset. I didn't know what the refund rules were and all that. You got to read the rules. Okay, the refund rules are in there. Make sure you read them when you join. If you're a member and you haven't read the rules, go read them. Okay, it's important. Because I always put this in every video. I tell everybody to read the rules. For those that don't read the rules, if something doesn't go right and you didn't understand the rules, that's your fault, not mine. So the refund rules are in there. There's a disclaimer in there that I'm not a financial advisor, guys and gals. I do not give financial advice. Everything on this server, I don't care who's posting it, me or anybody else, is strictly educational purposes only. All right, you are responsible for your own trades. No financial advice is implied whatsoever, all right? And lastly in there is be nice to everybody else rules. Don't post any dirty language or nasty language. Don't, no violence. Okay, anything that's just bad, don't do it. Okay, if you do it, I'm going to warn you. If you keep doing it, you're going to get kicked. And if it gets bad enough, I'm going to ban you. And remember, read the refund rules. So I don't want to hear about it, okay? If you're nice and respectful, you're not going to have a problem. You're going to get along with everybody, okay? All right, I think that pretty much covers it. I hope everybody had an awesome day of trading. God bless everybody. We'll talk to you all real soon again next time.